Hi everyone, Nev here, and today I'm going to be doing my spring equinox ritual. So I just kind of want to bring you along with me, and so some of this might be silent, I'm not sure. I don't know how much I'm going to actually film of the ritual itself. And the spring equinox, also called Ostara, by many people in the pagan community, my path is very much in the Irish pagan sort of realm, but I do have a history in Wicca, so I think I still feel very attached to the Wheel of the Year, and it's something that I incorporate into my spirituality. I put more importance on the Irish holidays, the fire festivals like Imbolc, Bealtaine, Lunasa, and Samhain. I did think there for a moment. So I put more importance on those holidays, those Sabbats, but I still feel very much connected to also celebrating the equinoxes and the solstices. So my own like little personal UPG, unverified personal gnosis, I like to honor the Irish god Angus on Ostara, or the spring equinox. And I'm saying that this is just a personal gnosis thing. It is absolutely not based in any sort of tradition. I just like to honor Angus on the spring equinox. So I have a card here from the Druidcraft Oracle. Not sure if you can see that, but and it's just a swan, and I pull it out because swans are associated with Angus, so that will be on my altar. So the other thing that I kind of want to do during this ritual whatever is I want to make a money bowl for our household, so that's going to be part of this too. So I have this nice like green bowl. I'm not sure if you can see, but it is green. It looks it's very pale green, and it's kind of a homemade made by an artisan shop bowl, ceramic, I think, or clay maybe. So I have a green bowl here. Let's see, I also have some stuff from some old Witch's Moon boxes. I have this golden eye of gold salt that I think will be great for a money bowl. I also have some road opener spray that I'm going to spray in the bowl itself before we start this, and golden unicorn oil, which all of these are from the Witch's Moon. It's just, me going through all my Witch's Moon stuff. And I've got a bunch of herbs also from the Witch's Moon that I'll be putting in here. I have some basil, and I'm gonna put this whole thing in, I think. And then I have, let's see, some lemongrass, and I will probably put the whole thing in there. I have this, they titled it Una Ursi, but it looks like bay leaves, or maybe something akin to bay leaves. So I'm gonna put that in there too. And maybe if I find some bay leaves, I might put some bay leaves in there. And this money bowl is something that I'm going to kind of add to over time. Once it goes down a little bit, I'll add more stuff to it. So I'm not like limited to this right now. I also have some orange peel, and I have some lemon balm. So I had the lemongrass here, but I'm going to put some lemon balm in there too. And finally, I found this when I was looking through all my Witch's Moon herbs, and this is a golden sickle. It's an herb blend, so I am going to put that in there too. Lots of things that have golden in them. So I also have, let me reach over, some lemongrass incense that I will be burning during my ritual and the creation of this bowl. I think that's it. Oh, no, I forgot one last thing. So this is some abundance salt, or not salt, I'm sorry, abundance rice. And this was created by, I got it from a company on Etsy, but they no longer exist, so I can't really link it down below, but I still have this. And I think I want to use as much of this as possible to fill the bowl. The rice itself has been dyed green, And it looks like there's some torn up pieces of currency in here, and other herbs, and I think there's also some gems in here as well. Oh, speaking of, I had a couple of gems that I don't have in front of me, but like I'm going for green gems, like aventurine, green jasper, those sorts of crystals, and also some citrine. That would be good too. So I will go through my crystal stash and see what I have for this. Okay, so I think I'm ready to start this ritual. I'll probably put in some clips of me setting up my ritual space, and I think I'm gonna do a full ritual. I have not done a full like calling the corners sort of ritual in a very long time, but I feel like the solstices and equinoxes aren't as connected to my my Irish pagan path as, say, the more important holidays for me. So I think I kind of want to do just like go back to my roots of Wicca here and go with a circle casting sort of thing. So that's what I'm gonna do. I probably won't film myself saying anything, but I may overlay some information about the Irish god Angus. So maybe I'll do that. And then I will also start making this bowl. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start this off by setting up my bowl here, my money bowl. So I started off by clearing out some of the energies with some incense, and then spraying that road opener spray in there to just kind of lend to it opening doors for me that might bring money to our household, or opening doors for my husband, you know, that sort of, that was the intention going with that. And then I blessed the salt and put that in there. And as you can see, I am using the wooden spoon that I got from one of the Witch's Moon things. And I was drawing a pentagram in there a few times by repeating, and also repeating my intentions of this bringing luck and fortune and money and prosperity, all of that, you know. Yeah, and I did the same thing for the prosperity rice as well. And I really like that spoon that I got from the Witch's Moon, because it's got a rune on there, which I don't actually know what the rune is, because runes aren't my forte. But it does also have a crystal at the bottom, so I like to use that crystal. Whenever I use that spoon, I like to use that crystal to draw sigils in powdered mixtures like this. So yeah, and now I'm doing the same thing with each of the herbs that I'm putting in there. So just making sure I'm imbuing those herbs with my intentions, you know, because, and several of these I'm using like the whole packet, not all of them though, because it did turn out to be quite a bit. That basil was quite a lot, but more than I expected. Because I don't want it to be overfilled, and I want to be able to eventually add in some other things. And I'm putting oil in it right now, the money oil there. And I forgot to mention the candle when I was going over all the things that I was putting in this bowl, and I'm trying to make sure that oil goes down that candle there. It doesn't just sit there at the top. But yeah, and I'm spraying it again with that road opener and putting that incense around there. Yeah, so some of the other things I can add to it are some gold Joss paper, that's what it's called. You can also get some of that. You can get that from like Amazon or other places. Spiritual goods stores sell Joss paper, and I'll probably get a pack of that. And you can add actual currency to it. You could add fake money to it. I will plan to add some actual currency to my money bowl there. All right, so now I am clearing up my altar, just cleaning it up. I have had that altar cloth for probably 25 years, and I have not been able to find anything similar to it. It's purple. It's a lighter purple than what we see in the video, because I did adjust coloring and stuff in editing, but it's a lighter purple than what's shown here, and it's kind of got these silver like little goddess symbols all over it, and I've never been able to find anything else like it. So yeah, I've had that for like 25 years. So I'm really clearing out the space there and making sure it's prepared. And now I am pulling out my quarter candles. Yeah, this is something I have not done like a full ritual like this in many, many years. So yeah, I'm doing the full thing. So I'm starting off by casting my circle, and I usually say something like, I cast a circle to be a sacred space between the world of the physical and the world of the astral. And I do that about 3 times, and then I point my wand to the sky and say as above, and I point it down to the ground and say so below, and then I slap the ground and say this circle is sealed. And now I am calling the corners. So I'm going into I start in north. Now I do north for earth, east for air, south for fire, and west for water. It's just what I've done from the beginning. And different traditions set the directions to different elements, but that's the elements that I use. And I'm basically kind of doing one hand to the sky with my wand and one hand with the athame to the ground, kind of like the magician card, and saying something along the lines of, I call the guardians of whatever direction it is, and I welcome you to the space and the element of blank, and please be with me during this ritual. Hail and welcome. And yeah, and then once I got to the altar, I called the energies of the sun and the moon, and that's the gold candle and the silver candle. That's a little bit of my bringing from my time in Wicca. I kind of, when I moved away from Wicca, it was the goddess thing. It wasn't quite my thing, but yeah. So I went from god and goddess to sun and moon, because I always liked that a little bit of that duality, but the gendered part of it was never quite sat right with me. And yeah, so but I always there's always an astrological element to my spirituality, so I still continue to have the gold and silver candles, and I use those on the Sabbats, and light those to welcome the sun and the moon, energies of the sun, energies of the moon. So it's just kind of a general energy thing. So the middle candle there, the kind of chartreuse, really light green colored candle, is my Angus candle, and I went ahead and filled it with Ostara salt and some herbs, and some of it was white oak, and then I used fennel seed and jasmine. I think those were the 3 that I used. I'm trying to remember. So a little bit about Angus. So Angus is not associated with Ostara, with the spring equinox, nothing like that. So I don't want people to take my personal practice and as some sort of gospel of, that's Angus is associated with the spring equinox, because he's not. So because my path is Irish paganism, I do tend to, I like to connect a deity to each of the Sabbats for my own personal practice. And like I said, it's a continuation of, my early time in Wicca, and I started practicing pagan witchcraft when I, in 1999. Yeah, 1999 was when I started. And for probably the first 5 years or so, it was Wicca. And obviously, my path has, grown and changed and evolved since then. But there's still elements of that early time in Wicca that I like to still keep as part of my practice. And I don't normally do full rituals like this, and this is very Wiccan. But so I like to keep the I like to associate a deity, an Irish deity, to each of the Sabbats. Some of them are expressly associated with that Sabbat, like Bridget with Imbolc, and then others I've just I felt you called to honor that deity during that Sabbath. So, and that is such the case with Angus. Now, Angus is the son of the Dagda and the river goddess Boin. I have the book Pagan Portals, Irish Gods and Goddesses of Ireland by Morgan Daimler open here. So I might read just a little bit of snippets here from their book. I highly recommend any of Morgan Daimler's work. Really great author on Irish paganism in general. So his father is the Dagda and his mother is the goddess Boin. And he was a product of an affair between the two beings here, and the pregnancy was hidden from Bowen's husband Elkmar by causing a single day and night to last for 9 months. So basically, because of this, he was technically conceived and born on the same day. Which is kind of where his name comes from. So his name is Angus, or Angus MacOg, and MacOg means young son. So the young son, Angus the young son. So through his father's side, he has many siblings, including the goddess Bridget, and he is said to have at least one daughter, Maga. And through her to be connected to the ancestry of the royal house of Ulster. So there we go. Now he is said to have been born on Samhain. So I mean, I could honor Angus on Samhain, but I feel like the Morrigan makes more sense for me personally to honor on Samhain. So there we go. And Samhain is a holiday that has other associations with Angus as well, as it is also the day that he is finally able to obtain the one woman he most desires. And so here's the thing with Angus, he's kind of considered the god of youth and love and poetry, though like Irish paganism doesn't quite have god of blank, and I think he's often associated with those things because a lot of his stories either have to do with love, or helping people find love or achieve love, or his own abilities in finding lovers. Or it also has to do with his ability to sort of use his words in trickery and to convince others, because that is how essentially he achieved his home, was through trickery. So he's a very clever god for sure. Very much associated with love. There's stories that are pretty specifically about Angus's lovers, or finding a love. There's the dreams of Angus. There's the wooing of Eighteen. So I mean, I'm not going to go too far into these stories. I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of information on Angus there. Now, I often associate Angus with the springtime or with Ostara, mostly because he is a kind of a god of youth, and I see Ostara specifically, the spring equinox, which is not an Irish holiday, by the way, but I kind of see that holiday as being a very youthful holiday. It's the holiday that my kids growing up always celebrated. Like, we always celebrated Ostara. We don't celebrate Easter, but we do celebrate Ostara. So I kind of really associate Ostara with children and children's activities. And obviously, this is very much a personal thing. And because of that, I think, for me, it makes sense to honor Angus, who I often sort of view as this sort of young god, and to honor him on Ostara. So that's what I do. And he is also associated with swans. So that is why I have the swan card there. All right, so yeah, I've done a lot of talking about Angus here, and really my ritual here has been just making that candle and putting a lot of those energies in there, and putting the money bowl on the altar for the energies of the spring equinox, to bless and to add those energies to that money bowl, which will go on our family sort of, we kind of have, it's not really a family altar, it's more of just kind of, it's near our entranceway, so it's kind of a household sort of altar, and that will go on that. So there we go. So at the end of the ritual, I do go ahead and close up the circle. I release the corners and the energies of the sun and the moon. And yeah, I kind of do the same. I do it backwards though. I start with the west, water, and then I go to the south, fire, then east, air, and finally north, earth, which is the opposite of when I started. And I basically release their energies. I thank them for joining me in this ritual, for adding their energies to my ritual, and I say hail and farewell. And then I close the circle by going around in a counterclockwise way to close the circle, and I do the as above, so below, and I hit the ground and I say, this circle is open but never broken, and so mote it be, which is very Wiccan. But and I am finishing off this ritual with a tarot reading. I'm using the Hedge Witch's Oracle along with the Shadowscapes Tarot, which is something, these are two decks I rarely use, actually. But yeah, and it was a private reading, so I'm not going to discuss the details of that, but there we go. And now I am going to show some clips of and some videos of my family painting eggs. Oh, and I forgot, I also used the witch's runes to lay over top. So I don't often use those either, but here we are, and I'll just let this kind of play out, and we are decorating eggs, coloring with crayons first, so to resist some of the dye, and then we got new packs because they didn't go with our typical PAAS, PAAS Easter set. I bought two different sets. One was like galaxy themed and one was gold egg themed, and they didn't quite work, but it's fine. So yeah, please enjoy just some nice video of my family painting and drawing on eggs. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a great springtime, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.